Mental health is a whole topic on itself. So I really went through the grieving process and I had really dark times. You go through, well, denial that anything really happened to me, anger that it did happen, and that it happened to me. You even find yourself bargaining. You're saying, look, if I only do better, do I get a return of a limb? Do I get something back? If only I could have done better. And depression was a very big companion of mine for some time. What is there to live for? It was a question that came up. But with me, particularly, eventually acceptance and peace. And now I'm just Mike. And you might ask, how have you learned to manage the mental health, or what advice would you give? Well, I don't know if it's this easy, but find someone to really talk to. It comes day by day. You get better. And we talked in counselling of little victories. So doing something for the first time, in my case, it was, say, cleaning teeth, or as big as getting on a bus, or going in a shop. And I promise I never say, I can't. I always question, how can I? You got to find a way. No, not, I can't get up the stairs. It's, how am I going to get up the stairs?
For me, coming straight out of having amputations, it felt like it consumed my life. My health in general, there was a lot of things happening. All my after effects combined was really overwhelming. It's such a strange time because it's like you're going into the world again. It's like being like a baby again, because you're learning how to do things. Not to make a joke, but you're finding your feet in the beginning. So it's one of those things where you just have to give it time. It's understanding that roller coaster of emotions is completely normal, and you'll have good days and bad days, and trust that like things will change, things will get better. And to find out who you want to be as a person, and don't let something define you, and don't let people tell you what you need to be as an amputee either. I could be in the kidney department where I still go, and I can hear the sound of a dialysis machine, and all of a sudden I'm getting a bit like hyperventilating, and even though I'm sat still in my chair and somebody walking past me might not notice. The psychologists that I see them via the hospital. I was able to explain to her what I was going through, and she said, well, these are likely to be symptoms of PTSD. And as soon as she said that, it made complete sense, because these things that were triggering my like strong emotions and panic, it was obviously linked to the hospital. And I think PTSD from a medical point of view isn't always spotted, I think, with peers. I think it's so spoken about within the military community. I think if you mention it from a everyday circumstance that isn't as remote as that, someone thinks, oh, that can't be true. You can't possibly have PTSD. It's so strange. And so being able to talk about that, it's great. It's nice to be able to hear other people say, oh, no, I went through that from going through a similar situation. And that trauma in general, it doesn't matter where you got it from, it can affect you later down the line.
I lead a normal life. And, it took me talking with somebody who was 7 years and 3 years ahead of me to realize that they, on this journey, were leading a normal life, and that you too will. You just will. It takes a little time, but bit by bit, little victories. Never say you can't. Always you challenge yourself with, how can I?